KEYC News Now to Go is sponsored by Rivers Edge Hospital and Clinic. People caring for people.
Moments like these make life worth living. Rivers Edge Hospital and Clinic is your partner in taking control of your own health. Take your steps towards a lasting tomorrow. Rivers Edge Hospital.
Hello and thanks for joining us for this KEYC News Now to Go update. I'm Jackson Jerk. In a few minutes, I'll be joined by First Alert meteorologist Caitlin Lohr. Our First Alert meteorologist, Caitlin Lohr, with a look at today's forecast and the rest of the week ahead. We start with somber news today. We go to the shooting death of conservative activist and influencer Charlie Kirk. This morning, authorities continued their search for the person who shot the 31-year-old in front of a crowd of thousands during one of his campus debates at Utah Valley University. Police say they do believe it was a targeted attack. CBS News' Andres Gutierrez is in Orem, Utah, with more on the tragic incident and the outpouring of tributes for Kirk.
Conservative activist Charlie Kirk tossed hats into a crowd of thousands, settling in at Utah Valley University for one of his famous campus debates. He was taking a question about gun violence and mass shootings when a single shot rang out, piercing Kirk's neck, and later died.
He just fell backwards and then we ducked and hid behind some stairs.
This morning, a manhunt is underway for the person who shot the 31-year-old husband and father of two young children.
I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
Utah's Department of Public Safety believes the suspect fired the bullet from the roof of a nearby building, up to 200 yards away, sources tell CBS News. Two persons of interest were taken into custody and later released Wednesday after police said they were not connected to the shooting. One of them has been charged with obstruction of justice. Supporters brought flowers to the Phoenix offices of Turning Point USA, the organization Kirk founded to motivate young conservatives.
He was one of ours. He was a champion of everything we believe.
Leaders across the political spectrum, including all current and former presidents, swiftly condemned the deadly shooting. On social media, President Trump called Kirk, who was an influential MAGA ally, a martyr for truth and freedom.
Because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before.
The president has ordered flags to fly half-staff on federal buildings through Sunday in honor of Kirk. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
We continue with more national news. Memorial events are being held nationwide today as the country remembers the nearly 3,000 people who died on September 11, 2001. CBS Jared Hill has more from New York.
It's been 24 years since the September 11th terror attacks, a moment the nation will never forget.
We need to humanize what happened those 24 years ago.
Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks after terrorists flew planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon in Northern Virginia, and a field in Pennsylvania where those on board Flight 93 stopped another plane from attacking the U.S. Capitol.
This is the World Trade Center site right here.
In Alabama, Chris Thylacker is continuing to tell the story. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan after the attacks. Now he teaches high school.
It's one of those watershed moments in U.S. history. It must be taught. The patriotic side of it, the messy side of it. It's a great rallying moment for what we can achieve when we decide to work together.
That unity on display this week aboard the USS Intrepid in New York, where teams of volunteers prepared meals to send to local food banks in the spirit of that day.
We weren't red states and blue states. We were just human beings helping one another.
For some first responders, the physical and emotional impacts linger.
I have a chronic sinusitis that became 9/11 certified. We all have our own variation of PTSD.
Christina Stanton is a 9/11 survivor. She and her husband lived just 6 blocks from the Twin Towers.
We evacuated within seconds, that second plane.
Now landmarks like these are part of her route as a New York City tour guide.
Being able to verbalize and to talk about it is something that's soothing for me.
Today, President Trump will mark the day at the Pentagon before attending the New York Yankees game in New York. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And now a look at your forecast. You know, when the dew point forecast is coming back, it means that we've got some humidity returning to the area. We've been talking about it though all week. Just want to show you kind of where we're at going into the upcoming weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be the most humid days of this week and the upcoming weekend, and really next week as well. You're still going to notice it today, and you're going to notice it going into the start of next week. Just know that it's going to kind of spike between tomorrow and Sunday, and along with that comes with warmer temperatures. So you put those two things together, it's going to be a little toasty, a little humid out there this weekend. You're definitely going to feel it. You're definitely going to have to deal with heat index values and making sure you stay hydrated. Now today we are only looking at a high of about 78 degrees by this afternoon, but with a little bit of humidity that we are going to be dealing with today, it'll feel more like the low 80s out there. Winds will be light, anywhere between 5 and 15 miles an hour. Now tonight we are going to stay mostly clear as temperatures eventually drop to a low of 62 degrees by tomorrow morning, with a very light breeze in the mix overnight. So talk about a rather comfy night ahead of us. Now as we go into tomorrow, we've got more sunshine in store through the day and partly cloudy skies through the afternoon hours. That means we'll still see some sunshine, but some clouds move in with some sprinkle chances. Now those sprinkle chances tomorrow will right now be anytime between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. tomorrow afternoon and evening. A couple of things with those rain chances to take away from is 1, you don't need to move your plans indoors. 2, it's only going to be a stray sprinkle or 2 from what we've seen here in the forecast. 3, again, you're not going to need that umbrella. You're not going to have to worry about changing those plans, or if you have a football game to go to or anything like that locally around the area, again, you should not have to worry about that minor chance of a sprinkle or maybe a stray shower at most, bringing a hindrance to your plans or football game or whatever it is you have going on tomorrow. But what you do need to take away about tomorrow is that we are looking at a high about 83 degrees as we take a look at your extended forecast, warming up to the upper 80s on Saturday and Sunday. If you recall that dew point graphic, again, it was showing a little bit higher up there with those dew points, meaning it's going to feel like the 90s through this weekend, so hydration will be rather important. We'll see a gradual decrease in temperatures through next week with the help of a cold front moving through Friday. That means a chance of storms on, Wednesday. That means a chance of storms on Wednesday. Temperatures in the low 70s by next weekend.
And sunscreen this weekend in the middle of September.
Yes.
Crazy
hey,
to think
you
about.
could need sunscreen in December, so it's not that big of a shock.
True. I know you can get a sunburn from ice fishing.
Yes,
so,
you sure can.
That's a fun fact for everybody. And ice fishing season's coming soon, but we're not going to talk about that.
Not yet.
We're going to wrap things up. That's Caitlin. I'm Jackson. Thank you guys very much for watching this KUIC News Now to Go update. Stay with KUIC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And download the free KUIC News and Weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.